So to start off with on this project, I'm just testing it, finding out how it works. So this is your main switch. Turns it off, except at this, and I'll have a master switch on that. So that will go into one of these lines. I'm not using this gauge wire, it's way too thin. I'll get some thicker wire because I'll be running a LED light off it. But I turn this on, that goes, and that's the output voltage. So you see where the light is, the red LED light. That is how much I'm putting out to my light. If I turn this over, that's how much voltage I have in the battery. So if I get screwdriver and change it to my output, I can, hold on, I can drop it, or I can raise it to whatever I want. I'm pretty sure the max voltage it will accept is 40 volts on the input, 40 volts on that, and then the max it will output was 30 volts. I'll leave a link for the board, the lights in the description, and the STL that I used for the battery. This is Ozito, Australian brand, so America it could be Iron Hell. I can't remember the brand. I'll leave a link for the brand and where you can get it from in the description, the American version, so you can look up the battery. And next we're going to 3D print the casing, and I'm gonna have to modify. So what I do is I get something off Thingiverse, and then I modify it to how I need it, and then I will modify this, and I want to make a couple of other versions because I want to have one where I can have chargers, so you can charge your phone as well. Otherwise, it's just a light. This is a 2-pack for $13 Australian. Pretty good. So next, after this, I have to 3D print my casing. Then I have to wire up my lights. And just saying, no soldering needed because I'm just going to use this, and I'll get 3D printed bracket, and I'll hot glue this in so it slides in. And then this is just crimps, or I can solder it if I need to, if I have any issues. And this screws. So I've printed out my part now for the circuit board, and it slides on like a glove. This side, perfect. So all I'm gonna do is board, make sure where it says out on the board, make sure that's to the end here, because my wires from the battery are gonna come through these holes. Need to pack away my car from the outing with Judge about 10 the other night. I'm just going to screw it when it's on. You need 4 of the M3 screws. So I will take this off again when I feed my wires through, after I make the terminal bit that hooks the wire so that when it slides on, the wires meet up. I'm just leaving it on for now as a test fit. Got my switch here. I had to do some modifying for it to make it fit, and I think I still have to do some cutting out on it. Try and make this fit in the hole. So all I need to do is print out the bottom bit for the terminals, and then I can probably finish wiring up this, and then I gotta start my design on the lid for this bits so I can press these buttons here, and the actual light itself to go on there. I find if when you do connect the wire, it's easy just to pull it out. I'll leave the STL for this design after I finish it properly and make it actually good, because this needs a bit of post-processing, like where you print the supports. So I'll get a better design and might put the STL in the description. So now we have our connectors in. So I printed up this and I had to take a chunk out of this, which I'll design. I'll design for you guys when I put it in the description, the STL files. So this to there, that into there, and that slides in, but because there's no hot glue in it, it just moves around wherever it wants. It's supposed to go all the way in, so it connects up properly. So for me, I'll probably have it, because there's that plastic bit in the way, you'll probably get like that much more than that. But there's these the proper power tool things. I'd want to get some of those, because that's going to be way better. So usually they use them for headlights, so you can find them at Repco or something. You just get those, you can bend them and you can solder some wire on them, and that will be way better than using the spade terminals, because you'll get more coverage, and that's nickel, I'm pretty sure, like 90% nickel, and this is just, I don't know what this is. Leave a comment if you know what metal the spade terminals are made out of. I forgot. So now all I have to do is wire it, screw that in there, unscrew this so I can feed the wire through there, and I can pull it out and then push it in, because I have tons of room for extra wire, just to make it easy to pull out and pull apart. And then I can put this switch in, so I can put that in 100% when I solder it, and then I work on the lid and the actual light itself. I did bunch this off camera because it's so hard to record and do this at the same time, but I got my switch in and I soldered the positive wire, so that goes to switch goes out up into the board, you got ground straight to here. Is that warm? No, it was warm. And then I've just got my stuff here, just need to hot glue it, and then I start working on the top. Oh, it's not even connected to a battery. So this tells you the voltage the battery's on, 20.6 volts. Change it over, it's 12.5 volts. You can change it up here, then turn the voltmeter off, turn it on, then just switch off. I've printed the top cap for the light, 18-volt light. So I haven't designed any holes into it, so I'm just going to use a drill with, I don't know what size it is, but it depends on how big your screws are. I also got long bolt and 2 nuts, so that they go into this bit right here with a hex, and then the actual light will pivot off this bit here with the bolt going through the center. So it'll pivot off that. And to get the nuts in, I'll get a high watt soldering iron and I'll heat them in there. So now I just gotta drill holes so that I can put these screws in, and then I'll put the nuts in. I also put 2 bits of masking tape to hold the lid so it's square. So all those holes except for, I think all of them went through, except for that one in the corner. And this one too. I'll try and screw it in off camera because you don't really care about that. But then after that, I'll start with the light, the pivoting light, and then I'll make another hole in this one, which will be on the STLs. Link in the description for those. It'll be in the STL so that you don't have to drill holes for them. I'll link everything that I use in this video, all the parts, and I don't know, some switch off AliExpress, and the lights in the description below. And I'll have the STLs to make this will be down there with it. Screwed in my top, but as you can see, it's different from the last time. It has buttons and a voltage display. That is because when I made this, I was not thinking properly, and I forgot that there's supposed to be a hole for the voltmeter, and so that you can turn it off and change from the battery voltage to the output voltage, which will go to the lights. I just have this sitting here for now until I get a soldering iron and put it in the ends so it'll be stable. And then after that, I'll get design up and print out the actual light bed that folds up and down, and then we're done. So I bought this off Amazon, and we have to print the holder for this to go on here. So I have this unscrewed just for now. I don't know how I'm going to connect the 2 terminals to the screws in here. Tough gap. I might either fold those in half and put them in there, or just get one of these adapters I'm not going to use, because these are used for the car dome lights. So I'll probably just get one of these, which I'm not going to use, and then just snip it, put them in the screws, and I get lots more cable. I just have to draw a hole in the top. So now I have to get printing. So we printed our light holder. It's a bit messy, but you won't see it under the filter. Just I can do better on version 2. Will look a lot better because I got to find a bit different way to get my supports because they're so thick. But just to get the last little bits out, I'm gonna use my Dremel tool, rotary tool, and just take out any bad bits. And I gotta make room for this connection into here, and I'm gonna put that in there. Then I got to widen up that. Then this already has double-sided tape on it, so I'm alright with that. Put that on, and I can super glue that. So I'm gonna Dremel it out. Then I can start the assembly. Plan, as you can see, I've done some capery. Amazing soldering job with my new soldering iron. So me being a big idiot, had the top cover wrong, so I just did it all off camera. But as you can see, I put this thing on the wrong side. The hinge point should be here, because that's where it comes off. I was like, oh yeah, I can just use the one piece of wire. Nope. So, and then the thing broke off. So I'm just like, oh, I just screw it, and I just hardwired it. And it's like, this thing just failed. I'll just throw all this in the bin and keep this, because like, couple dollars. So if it works, it works. Doesn't work, I don't know. That's what version 2 is for. This is version 1, so over engineered. So I could just snip from here, chuck this, and then keep this box, and then I just put like, make it a PowerPoint or USB charger or something, because this thing can handle a lot, and it's pretty pointless just having it do a light. So version 2 won't have this. I'll put a 24-volt light, so I won't need a converter, but I'll put like USB points in it, so it's actually better and cheaper than just buying one. So now I'm just going to tuck this in, last things like the buttons, and screw it all together. And then finally, after a while, we have ourselves a 18 volts to 12 volt light. Here we have it, guys, the finished product. Really ugly, not how I wanted to turn it at all. I rate this 0 out of 10. This sucks. This is, even though this thing is pointless, I had a bit of fun making this, and I've learnt tons of skills. Like, I didn't even know how to solder anything when I started. So, improvements. So, that means V2 will be way better, but we'll give you a little light. Good thing about it is that if I do intend to use it, maybe I'll use it for backlight when I'm recording. It swivels, so I can angle the light. So, here we go. Finished. Done. So, probably won't be using this for anything, because the whole point of this was to have it like this big, including the little light bit this big, so I could just pop it up in any small space with the small battery. So I would not ever make this one again, but V2 will be shorter, USB points, 24 volt light, maybe brighter, who knows. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe.